welcome to Key Stage 2 SPaG. Welcome Lowbrook and Holy Trinity. Now today we're going to be looking at direct and indirect speech, and your LI is, can I use and punctuate both direct and indirect, which is sometimes called reported speech. Hello and welcome is direct speech, and here I've written it down, and indirect speech is reported speech. So that would be, Mrs. Brown explained to the children that indirect speech is also called reported speech. Now, as usual, we're going to play a game to start with. And this game is going to be how many nouns you can actually find, or once I've described them, can you actually write them down and see how many you can do in 2 minutes. This is a game we played in school quite a lot. It's articulate. So, are you ready? Okay, I'm ready. So, this is a noun that you can actually write with. It's not a pencil, it's the other one. That's right, it's a pen. Well done. Okay, this is something that you could wear around your wrist, or you could play in one. Band. Well done. This is something that I have on. Oh, I don't have them on now. So what is that? That's right, glasses. That was an easy one, wasn't it? This is something you might wear on your arm or leg or any other part of your body that you have injured. And it's something that you would wrap around the limb that's been injured. Bandage, you're absolutely right. This is something that we can cook with. We put this on the stove and we can put vegetables in it, and it's called a pan. Well done. This is something that we set you weekly, and you write it down in your journal, and it's not studying that you do at school, it's something you're doing now when you're in lockdown. You're doing lots of homework. Well done. This is something that some people have in their garden to actually grow plants in, and it's made of something that is glass normally. You got it? That's right, it's a greenhouse. Well done. This is something I might use to cut down a tree. It's a large object. Axe. Well done. Let's see if I can get faster now. Oh, this is a small oven that you can have on the side. You often see them in kitchens on the side. Microwave. Well done. This is something where you go and post letters in. Postbox. Quick one. This is somewhere that you take a dog or a cat or a pet that is injured. Got the last one? It's a vet. Well done if you've got all of those. So now we're going on to what the LI was. There are 2 ways of reporting what somebody says. So there's direct speech, what they're actually saying, and indirect or reported speech. Now, indirect speech, we use the speaker's own words. So this little boy here, what do you think this boy could be saying? Write it down. You can have 2 ideas if you wish. If your speech is in a bubble, it does not have to be punctuated. So do both. Write it in a bubble first, and then as it would appear in a text. Just to remind ourselves how we punctuate direct speech, check that you have open speech marks and punctuated before you close them. Have you used a capital letter to start with, and you've separated who is speaking from the rest of your sentence with a comma? It would be good if you could name the boy to give it a bit of interest. So, stop the tape and have a little go. Well done. So, indirect speech, sometimes called reported speech, we do not use the exact words of the speaker, instead we repeat what was said. We sometimes need to change pronouns and verb tenses, so we don't use the speech marks. So in your bubbles, I thought that the little boy was saying, I want to go home. Now, I've put it in speech marks just to show you that sometimes it can be in a bubble, but it doesn't have to be. It can be just on its own. And when I've written it, I've now written it and changed it into reported speech. Max said he wanted to go home. No speech marks here because it is indirect speech. So I'd now like you to go back to your direct speech and change it to reported speech. So go back to where you said what you thought Max was doing, and put it in to reported speech. So write that down in your journals, that would be great. Well done. Now, what I'd like you to do here is change these further examples of direct speech into reported speech. I'm just going to read you these, and I'm hoping you recognise where they've come from. Year 5 and 6, particularly Lowbrook. I know the answer, shouted Hogarth suddenly. I felt the ground shake, the father said, here, right beneath us. Alas, said the space-fat angel dragon, I'm utterly useless. All we do in space is fly or make music. Have you recognised the book? I hope so. It's the Iron Man. So, stop the tape here and have a go. Of all three of those, change them into reported speech. Okay, well done. I'm really looking forward to having reading all of those, as does the rest of the Mrs. Dim and Mrs. Hare and the Year 6 teachers. Punctuating direct speech. Let's just go over this again, because direct speech is very important to punctuate. So, direct speech in your writing, you need to use the correct punctuation. The actual words spoken must be enclosed in speech marks. The first word of the speech must begin with a capital letter. The words in the speech mark must be separated from the rest of the sentence by a comma, and you must use a new line when a new speaker begins. So, you just stop the tape there a second and just check your work. That would be great. Using speech in your writing. Using speech in fiction and non-fiction writing adds variety. However, writing out long pieces of direct speech can make your writing confusing, and it also slows down the action. Reported speech can summarise what the speaker has said, so the action moves along more quickly. Reported speech is useful when you want a contrast between what character says and what he or she is thinking. So, for example, here would be when you report someone saying something slyly, it could be that they're holding back the truth. I know in Year 6 you might have lots of examples from Lady Macbeth in Macbeth here. What she's saying to what she's actually thinking is different. So, what are the advantages and disadvantages of both types of speech? Mrs. Dim says, direct speech can show what a character is like. Long speeches can be boring. Too many speakers can confuse the reader. Direct speech can add variety to writing. Mrs. Hare says, indirect speech can be summarised briefly, so it does not slow down the pace of the action. It can show a contrast between what a character is saying and what she is thinking. So, in summary, in your writing, when you use mainly reported speech, you use direct speech only to emphasise the main points your characters make. Don't bore and confuse your readers by writing out long conversations between your characters. And if you remember here, whenever we're telling you about writing and supporting in your writing, we often do say only use 1 or 2 pieces of direct speech. Direct speech should be used sparingly. It is most effective when only the most forceful statements are put into speech. So, the last thing to do today, the extension. Can I write a short paragraph about how I feel being homeschooled, using both direct and reported speech? Now, the tips here is use at most 2 sentences of direct speech. You might want to quote what you have said to a friend. Reported speech, you may want to report what other people in your house have said, possibly indicating how they feel. You may like to report something that Colonel Tom has said, which has inspired you, because he is such an inspirational character, isn't he? You have all written a report on Google Classroom, and you may like to use that to help you. So have a go. Use reported and direct speech. Don't use too much direct speech, most two, and we really look forward to reading these when you're back in school. So well done today, and hopefully you've got a much better understanding of direct and indirect speech.